Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the latest edition of the Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar Podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Elyachar, the chief content producer and writer of jakestake.com, a pop culture web news website. It is episode 135 of this podcast, so thank you all very much for all the watches and all the listens and all the guests so far. So I have a fabulous guest today, and she is a Spotify verified artist, and as of this recording, has over 10.1 thousand followers on Instagram. So please help me welcome Jacqueline Loor.
Hi, thank you so much for having me, Jacob. Happy to be here.
I'm so happy to have you here. So thank you so much for taking time in your schedule to sit down with me today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I'm about to record a music video for my next song for an album. So I'm going to be rushing over to rehearsal. I'm dancing in the video. This will be fun. I've never done that. So yeah, I got my hands full, but I'm happy to talk to you for sure.
All right, so we have no time to waste. So let's get started. So when did you get interested in music, and how did that passion evolve into desire to pursue a career in the recording industry?
Yeah, I grew up listening to Janis Joplin, Aretha Franklin, the Beatles, the Stones, all of that stuff. I've always been singing karaoke and all that fun stuff, and I started writing poetry. And I picked up a guitar and taught myself at 18. And when I did that, forget about it. I was like hooked. I always thought it was a hobby, and then I took it really serious about 3.5 years ago. I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna be doing this forever. This is what I need to do with my life. Like, what am I doing? So that's that's like 3.5 years ago, and it's been crazy how much has happened in a short amount of time. But it's fun. It's awesome.
And I'm so happy for that because I'm a karaoke person myself. However, I'm better with the recorder as well. But like, believe me, I have some go-tos. We didn't start a fire by Billy Joel is my go-to.
Yes!
We have one day we'll have to do international karaoke.
That's so good. That's one of the best concerts of my life. Billy Joel and Elton John on the same stage. It was insanity. So good.
Okay, I'm jealous because of the face-to-face tour she's talking about, everybody.
Yes.
But like, I saw them both as separately, but like, I am so jealous because those are two of my all-time favorite band musicians of all time.
No, I was in tears. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. I just love them both so much. So yeah, that's been in my blood, in my veins for years. So if I could do any ounce of what they do to my soul for anybody else, that's why I do it, for that.
Awesome. So we got to talk about some of the challenges that you face breaking into the international music market. So how do you overcome those obstacles?
Yeah, that was crazy. I had a dream of a Spanish song, two different Spanish songs. Anyways, I called my friend and I said, "Hey, Iris, she's great. Iris Bonet, she's great. Puerto Rican. She sings amazing." I go, "Let's write this song together." And I called Theo. We did like a sync chorus, placing music and film. And I called him. I was like, "Okay, you guys, let's do this song, No Me Digas. But Iris, you sing it." And she's like, "Well, why don't you? Well, you should try singing it." I'm like, "Me? I can't do that. I do dark pop English stuff." And she's like, "Just try it out. Who cares? Like, just give it a shot." And I was practicing my twin, and she goes, "Oh my God, you kind of sound like Shakira. You should do this." And I was like, and it was crazy how much I was in my own way. I thought I couldn't do it. And as soon as I stopped, all that fear and that negative talk, I got in the studio. I had so much fun recording Spanish music, and that's it. Like, ever since then, I've been doing a ton of Spanish stuff. It's been awesome.
Awesome. I'm happy to hear that. And now we got to quickly talk about your new album, Show Them. And so can you describe the production process from inception to release?
Yeah, that started off with all of the entire album is from my twin, Carolyn. I actually wanted to name it Carolyn, but she didn't want to be, in the spotlight at all. She'd probably kill me after she hears and sees this. But anyway, she's my muse, and this whole album is from beginning to end when she first discovers she's in a toxic relationship, and she discovers how she needs to get out. But just to get out of a relationship that you're so used to being in can be so difficult. So basically the album takes you from that moment into finding the strength to get out and finding your own power. And it starts off really dark and sad, but it really ends up really bright and uplifting and positive, where she ends up flying on her own and not needing to be in any relationship, just to be happy in her own skin. So yes, I just that's the entire album in a nutshell.
Well, that's incredible too, because it also can be related to a city, because I love New York City, but it was very hard for me to leave. I'm back home in Kansas City, everyone.
Oh wow! So you were in New York, and now where are you now?
Back home in my hometown of Overland Park, Kansas, which is a subdivision of Kansas City.
And so that must have been really hard. You see, I didn't even think of that. I love how these themes can relate, not even just in relationships, but just things that you're used to, places and homes. So very cool. Yeah.
Awesome. I would love to talk to you about some of the stories behind some of your songs. And the first song I want to talk to you about is "Burn It Down," because it was featured on the CW's Batwoman. So what was your reaction when you said, "Oh, by the way, we are featuring this on our show"?
Yeah, I almost died. It was crazy. I am a huge superhero fan. I love it. And when I found out that song was there, I have two little girls, two daughters, and they're just into superheroes. They thought I was the coolest person in the whole world. They were just they're so proud of me. They're like, yeah, mom. And it was cool how they used it too, because I wrote it. It's a female empowerment song. And then the way they used it was a makeout scene. I'm like, okay. It was a very spicy little scene. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And I'm telling my kids, close your eyes. But that's my song in the background. I'm like, yes. And I was just really proud of that, because I only just broke into the sync industry last year. I took a 6-month course during COVID. I was like, well, I want to keep doing music, and my shows. I was playing with my band all over Miami, and I was like, well, what am I going to do? Let me just learn about sync. And I went 100% into it, and I loved it. I was like, oh, wait a second, I could do music from home, and then work with different agents that believe in me, and they place it in different films and shows. How cool is that? It's a really cool, lucrative, way for musicians. I do music not for money. I do it for heart and passion, but it's really cool when you can do it and be like, oh, wait a second, I could actually make a living, maybe, perhaps. This is so cool. So yeah, when I broke into it last year, did a 6-month course, Catch the Moon. Amazing for any musicians interested in sync. I really highly recommend it. Kathy Heller is amazing. All the mentors are awesome. And that one thing led to another. And also I have a little Latin fire under my tush. I'm always working hard, and you got to have that drive. You have to basically be nonstop and live, breathe music. And that's kind of what I do. So then that's it. One door leads to another, and it's crazy. So yeah, that's kind of how I bumped into the Batwoman thing.
Awesome. Now, Carry Through is as of this recording, is your most streamed song on Spotify with 101,000. So what does that number mean to you when you get into the 6 digits?
Yeah, let me tell you something. That song, I wrote it with Maria, this girl that I met in Catch the Moon, Maria Requena. She's from Chicago, and me and her did a co-write session, and I never co-written until I got to Catch the Moon, and they started doing these pair up, songwriting co-writes. And I was always like, wait a second, I want to be in my bedroom writing a song all by myself. And I wasn't used to, collaborating with other people like that. Well, me and her wrote this song. We were in tears. Jacob, you don't understand. We were it was a therapy session. It was so cathartic. It was amazing. We wrote this song. And then what happened after that, how many people really resonated, and all these messages we're getting from people, that was huge for us. And then it got on an editorial playlist in Spotify, which I never thought would be possible, because you hear about this editorial playlist. And I saw it. I go, this is so cool. So anyway, we just a lot of people that didn't know we existed got to find out we existed. So that was really exciting. So I think that was the biggest part. I feel like when people are like, oh my God, it resonates. And I never knew these people. So that was really cool. That was the best part.
Awesome. We got to talk about your latest single, I Can Fly. That's going to be off the upcoming album, Show Them. So what is that story behind that song? What is the story behind that song?
Oh, Jacob, you don't even understand. What's crazy with the universe is that my twin is just literally flew here last Thursday from Miami to, I live in Tenerife, Spain, one of the Canary Islands. Actually, that eruption is happening on one of the other islands here in La Palma.
Oh,
The
wow.
volcano is literally just erupted, and it's crazy what's happening right now. So, we have a volcano on our island. So anyway, we're just like praying for the other island right now. It's great. Lava's flowing. It's insanity. Anyway,
Wow.
I'm here. She just flew here on Thursday with her 2 little kids. And I'm so proud of her. I'm like, this is crazy. This is a huge leap of faith. What you were just talking about, you're in Kansas, leaving New York. Imagine leaving the country. It's crazy. So my twin just left and this song just got released. And she goes, Jackie, this song came out in like the best time ever. So yeah, it's all about her. But this is towards the end of the album where she realizes how strong she is and she could be so happy on her own and anything is possible. Just, you don't need to depend on anybody and you just stay with someone that, that may be, bringing you down and not bringing out the best version of you, So I'm so proud of her. This is like came in perfect time, That's what I can advise about.
I totally agree. We got to start winding down our conversation because I know you have a shoot to get to. So who are your dream collaborators, singers, songwriters, and producers, and how would they enhance your sound?
Oh my gosh, I love AG. Adrian, she's an incredible producer. She is just like, I've seen her talk on different, she's just a badass. She's done a lot of things that you'll hear in like films. She composes music. She's a badass producer. I love that she's Latina also. She's like, like a 40, early 40s, is a mom. She does everything. She's a badass. She's just inspiring. She's just like, why not? I'm going to do it. And she just and she does crazy, awesome sounding music. She works with a whole bunch of different artists. And I think that's just really cool because I'm stepping into production. I never thought I could produce. I feel it's very male dominated field. And with the help of Chris Bradley, she's badass for anybody like interested in learning production. She was my mentor. Still is my mentor. She's amazing. And so I'm like, wait a second, I can produce. So that's a huge part of my next step is produce. And one of the songs on the album, I Broke My Heart, I produced it. And I was really excited about that because I never thought I was capable. Look at that. I'm always in my own way, Jacob. I don't know why.
But here's the thing, you're self-aware and you know it. So, and at least, and hopefully this leads to more success and more self-production.
Yeah, 100%. It's about being self-aware. It's so true. It's just about being like, oh my God, I keep doing this. Why do I keep saying no to myself? So yeah, I'm learning and I'm growing, Jacob. That's what it's about. You're right.
All right, so this is the second to last question. If you had the opportunity to meet with international music recording artists who want to advance their careers in the recording industry, what advice would you share with them?
Do not always wait for perfect. I feel like I look at the first couple of songs that I released and it was like a hot mess. I didn't know what I was doing. And I feel like anyone that wants to start doing any music, just don't overthink it. Just put your heart into it and start releasing stuff. Start doing things, instead of just talking about it. I was 36 when I actually figured out, I want to do music. So I kind of felt like, I get it. That's it. Like I have no time to waste. Let's do this. But I feel like at any moment in your life, when you realize you want to do something, you go for it 100%. I think, that's something that I realized that every single song that I release, I feel like keeps getting better and better. If I feel like I keep finding more of who I really am, my authentic self, and I keep putting myself out there. At the end of the day, I feel like that's it, just doing it and getting it out there.
Awesome. So where can my audience find you on social media, and also where can I find their music more importantly?
Yes. So Jacqueline Loor is my name, Loor, Jacqueline Loor, and it's everywhere. I am everywhere. I am Spotify, YouTube. My album, I'm so excited about my album. It's my first album. Has a whole story like I told you, and it comes out October 1st. So you guys can start pre-ordering it. Hopefully, I think this week. Oh my God, it's crazy. And it's just crazy. It's all happening. So yeah, Jacqueline Loor everywhere. YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, all that stuff. And on Instagram, Jacqueline Loor Music. That's right. I forgot about that. And Facebook.
Awesome, guys. So if you missed an episode of the Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar podcast, head visit our Apple Podcasts, Deezer, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Spreaker. And we are just on Podcast Addict. So just type in Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar, JACOB Once again, JACOB. Are you on social media? Because I'm on social media too. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, Jacob Elyachar, JACOB. And Jacqueline, 2021 is Jake's Take's 10th anniversary.
Oh my God, amazing. That's awesome. Congratulations. I'm really excited to share this on all my platforms. This was an awesome interview. You had awesome questions. And thank you so much, Jacob, for having me.
You're so welcome, Jacqueline. You're so welcome. I gotta say, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to talk with me today. And if you have the opportunity to, please consider heading to PayPal to help keep my platform up and running so I can interview cool people like Jacqueline and also help out with all my stuff, because I'm a one-man band and I really appreciate it. And Jacqueline, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to talk with me today. I really, really appreciate it. And I truly enjoyed it.
Thank you, Jacob. Me too. Adios.
All right. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.